for the response that you gave for our previous video. So Hari is the CEO of Compliance, which has implemented the software for KSA market. So
Hi Vaibhav, yeah. Back again on another video.
Let's directly go to the first question.
Yeah.
What is the significance of e-invoicing in Saudi Arabia with respect to Zatka?
So with respect to Zatka, if you see, not only Zatka, e-invoicing with respect to any government authority, the government authority wants to reduce tax evasion. That's the very first point. The second one is that Zatka's perspective, the government wants to reduce tax evasion, then improve tax compliance for a business. And from Zatka's perspective, it also wants to have some sort of transparency between transparency of the transaction that's taking place between two businesses. So these are some items that the government cares about.
Okay, so the next question is, what is the key factors when you go and select a software for Saudi Arabia?
Right, so that's a different question. Yeah. So if you see, there are a variety of factors that any business needs to consider when buying or when you're procuring e-invoicing solution from a vendor. The first thing I would say is the technology and the expertise that they have. So coming to technology and expertise, the solution should be very innovative. In the first hand, it should solve the problem. Then it needs to be innovative in some sort of way, so that it helps the business, not the company that's selling.
As you mentioned, this is a third-party software or a middleware. But some ERP has e-invoicing inbuilt. So should we go for that option or should we go with a third party?
Yeah, so that's a tricky question. So as you said, like there are OEMs supporting e-invoicing within the ERPs, but it's not covering the wide range of ERPs used by or consumed by businesses. So that's one category that gets eliminated in this chunk. So the rest where the OEM is supporting, you have to go again and validate that OEM solution firsthand.
Okay.
So and compare it with the third-party provider solution.
Okay. There are companies, the third party, who has listed their software in the store.
Yes, that's one case, and also there are third parties who are partnering with OEMs.
Okay.
So in that case, even though the solution is from the OEM, it's not from OEM actually. It's from the third party.
Okay.
So some third party like Compliance has partnered with some ERP company to provide the e-invoicing solution through them. So in that case, I would say as a business, you should validate the OEM solution and also validate the third-party solution while you're considering to buy one.
Okay. So what should be the points to check?
Yes. So as I said, the first point is the technology and the innovative solution that they have. The second one is that I would say is the percentage of acceptance or the scale at which they had dealt in the past. So the past record says, the company has posted this many invoices to Zatka in the past and they have a certain percentage of success rate. That's the second factor. And the third factor would be to consider the integration capabilities. Say for a business or having more than one ERPs or accounting software, is going to be very complex, especially when the third party vendor is going to deal with integrations. So this capability is very critical.
Okay, so what you say is, when we go with the third party solution, they will help you get compliant with all the other solutions which are not even in the ERP.
Yes. Okay. So even the sub provider is
Can
not
you explain
having
this with an example? Like
yes, I can give you one good example that we had in the past. We worked with a customer, I cannot mention the names here. We worked with a customer who had 4 different ERPs, or I would say 4 different source systems that are generating invoices. Again, to make things much complex, each of these ERP systems had multiple invoice sequences, or we call it e-invoice generation solution inside that. So this went on to a range of around 15 to 20 invoicing solutions. So this case was one complex environment where we had to integrate with each of these ERPs, put it into a single system, and then push it to our other.
So you were able to achieve compliance by giving 3 or 4 systems integrated into one.
Yes. So that's that could scale to any extent. We can do it for more than tens and hundreds of systems.
Okay. Will this future-proof it?
Yes, definitely, because it will not. I would not say future-proof in any case. From compliance, since I'm representing compliance, I would say how we are addressing this point future-proof. Future-proof is on two aspects. One is the how your system is changing to the evolving regulations from the government's point of view. The second one is that how scalable is the technical solution.
Okay.
Say as a business you want to scale your business in the next 2 years to it shoots up, the revenue is going to shoot up, the invoices is obviously going to go higher on the side. So as a provider, I should be able to support the business's growth as well.
Okay. So you did mention that few OEMs have e-invoicing integrated by them or by a third party within their system.
Right.
But what would be the case if the ERP is on-premise or it's a legacy ERP which the business is still using?
Yes. So in this case, most of the on-premise ERPs are not supported by OEM as a, they don't release an update firsthand. That's the first point. The second is that on-premise ERPs for sure require a custom integration in place.
Okay.
So that's where the third-party solutions come in, and we at Compliance had done a lot of on-premise integrations successfully.
When it comes to on-premise, how do you integrate? Why? Because it would be legacy. They may not even have an web services enabled in the ERP.
Right. So on-prem integration is always complex and tougher than the easiest web services or API level integrations. You see, on-premise integrations, we deal with direct DB level integrations. We do deal with some sort of different approach we call it the staging database level integrations. This staging DB integration type requires both customers' participation and our compliance participation to get this project completed. Wherein when we do a direct DB level integration, it's very simple when compared to the other one. Compliance involves and does the 100%.
So will this scale? Why? Because it's just like some hack, right? So how will you help the business go forward?
Yes, so I would not say it's a hack. It's another approach I would say it's the only approach that businesses with this type of setup can get comply. As you said, this would scale. This would scale to the extent where the ERP is getting used in the same manner. Okay. If they want to switch to a cloud system, obviously their environment is changing and there needs to be another upshift to the.
So during that, will you be able to help the business?
Definitely, because we do have systems based on cloud. Most of the systems we see based on legacy on-premise setups are moving to cloud. Okay. We do support cloud.
So even if the system is legacy, you would support them during that time, and when they switch to another ERP or with the same ERP vendor to the newest version, you'll be able to help them switch to that also.
Definitely, yes.
Okay. So how secure is this method?
Yes, so coming to the security standpoint, since we had done deeper VAPT testing jointly with one of our customers in the past, we had implemented certain enterprise grade security layers to our core system, which ensures that it's not only secure from a cybersecurity standpoint, it's also secure from a government regulatory standpoint. If you see, there are regulations to to have servers inside KSA for certain type of data. So we do have servers inside KSA, which ensures security and compliance to some extent.
What else should you consider for selecting a vendor?
What else should I consider when I'm selecting a vendor? As we said,
that is when you have more than one choice.
Right.
So you will be puzzled, right?
Right.
So which one should I go for?
Yes. So this is some sort of RFP process wherein the business gets in touch with multiple vendors to evaluate each of these solutions. That's where we had one in the past. We had been put in place along with 3 to 4 vendors, and we had won deals. So how this works is you have to build some sort of framework to weight each of these vendors on their wins, on their strengths and weaknesses. So these parameters, I would say the percentage of acceptance, the failure rate, how was the go live support or the post-production support, how it went through, and then what are the successful case studies they have, and then what kind of expertise they had in the past. So if you see, as at compliance, we have indirect taxation experts who take care of doing the complete, from a regulatory or from a financial standpoint. They take care of completely evaluating the customer environment to get them ready for this
So
phase
if the CFO or the CCO of the company has some doubts or concerns, you people will be able to help them.
Definitely, that's what the indirect taxation person comes in picture and helps it out. It also, from a consultation standpoint, we do so provide some sort of adjustments that needs to be taken care in the ERP.
Does the response time of API that you provide matter, or?
Yes, definitely. That one point, that was the point I missed for the previous question. If you see, from an API, it's not about the API. It's the business cares about how much invoices you process per second. We do process invoices. Our response rate, with even though we have dependencies with common systems, we have a very good response rate. We had dealt with transactions at scale, huge number of transactions at scale. So we can deal good enough number of, I would say, a competitive number when compared to the other providers.
How often do you give updates? Suppose if Zatka tomorrow announces something new, when will that be rolled out, and it may break some of the existing processes also?
Yeah, if it's a pre-planned announcement from Zatka also announces it prior to the to the community, developer community. So we work closely, we follow closely what's the evolving changes there. So I would say for pre-planned updates, it's very instant on the date of that particular compliance needs, for the particular update needs to be rolled out. We have it pre-planned, roll it out to all of our customers. Since we have everything on cloud, the update is very instant.
So you will not require any other support from the customer?
It depends on the type of update that's Zatka. If there is any other additional data required, we have to put in, we have to reach out the customer to sort it out.
Okay.
If it's a minor enhancement sort of things, it's going to be
taken care by the software.
Completely by compliance.
Okay. So what will be the most important factor? As you mentioned, there are technical know-how, innovation, and the support after production. Which is the most exact thing that a business should look for?
You can weight all these parameters on a 0 to 100 scale, and you can put allocate depending on the business's standpoint. Say if I'm a FMG business who wants to get invoicing compliant, my set of parameters vary from a business who's dealing on a petroleum product. So I have to figure out the percentage of weightage that I have to give to each of these solution providers and evaluate it.
If suppose you have chosen one vendor and he fails to give a compliance for your business, and you get a penalty. So how should the business look at this?
So this business should address this very seriously, because it's nowhere that you buy a solution to get compliant and to avoid fines and penalties, and if you're getting in a place where you are fined, you should address this very seriously. Consider choosing a vendor like compliance, or who has a vendor who has zero fines or penalties for their customers in the past.
Okay, so you do help them get no fines at all?
Yes, absolutely. So that's our business.
Actually, I'm out of questions, and I hope you answered all of my questions.